culture. And culture can be a lot of different formats, like writing and video and voice and even idea. But today everyone focuses on really specific type of culture, the US academic culture. And as we mentioned in the last week, and we know a lot of different things about US academic culture, and some of them are really interesting and attracts me to know what is US culture, and wow, that's pretty interesting. So for a few things that is most attracts me. So the first one is the classroom set. In the US classroom, so the seat, well, no is not belong to anybody, but there is an unwritten rule is that the first day seat is a seat for all of the semester. That's really interesting. So which means in the first day of the class, I have to go to the classroom as earlier as I can because I want to have a really nice seat. And well, that in China is different. Like in my high school, the seat is arranged by the teacher, and teacher wants the student to sit together in order to have a better study performances. But if someone who sit next to me and we have too much conversation, which would interrupt the class, well, the teacher gonna separate us to the different corner of the classroom, and that can be changed. But in the US, well, I don't think that's gonna happen because the teacher won't do that, I believe. And the second thing I think is in-class questions. Actually, they're kind of like China. In here, teacher also don't welcome student to interrupt the class process. Even the student face some really embarrassing moment, like the student lack of the really important class resources, like the textbook or the paper, but they cannot interrupt the teacher. They have to pretend that they have the one, and after class, maybe they can come to the office and ask her a new one from the professor. And I think that's really interesting because we have to respect the teacher. When teacher focusing on the knowledge, it is not good to interrupt because, well, because not only students in the classroom, so I have to respect everyone, and so that's pretty good. And the last one, I think the grading system is really special in the US. In the US, the grading system is combined with several parts like student participation, student in-class work, students' attendance, and students' homework and assignments, and a test. So all of them combine together and become a final score. But in China, that's kind of different because in China, the grading system is based on the final test. No matter how hard a student worked in the whole semester, like the 90% of the semester, student worked really hard. But in the final test, maybe student failed, maybe the student feel nervous or other circumstances, but that will ignore the student whole effort in whole semester. So I think like in the US grading system, well, it can be variable or it can be different. If a student worked really hard in the daily life, even student fail the final score, the grading will not too low. And so that I think that part is really reasonable for students. And yeah, that's the third part is really shocks me about US culture and really and also attracts me and pretty interesting. Okay, and thanks for watching.